At his debut rally last night in Philadelphia. Walz has a history of pushing aggressive climate policies in Minnesota. He signed off on a $2 billion initiative to expand clean energy investment in the state. He also backed a law requiring the state's utilities to get 100% of its electricity from carbon-free sources by 2040. All of this as climate news organization GRIST calls Walz the climate vice president. Joining me now is Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter, a member of the House Budget and Energy and Commerce Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to get your take on this coming from the Energy and Commerce Committee. What is your reaction to Tim Walz being Kamala Harris's running mate?
Well, first of all, we've got a dangerous, radically liberal ticket, the most dangerous radically liberal ticket we've ever had run for president. And now this is going to be a continuation of the Biden-Harris Green New Deal policies. Look, we all want clean air, and we all want to make sure our environment's taken care of. We all want an all-of-the-above type energy strategy. We don't want the federal government telling us what cars we're supposed to drive. We don't want the federal government telling us what appliances we're supposed to have and not have. What we want is for this to be market driven. When the government chooses winners and losers, consumers lose. And that's what has happened during the Biden-Harris administration. And now we've got this radical, liberal ticket that is going to continue on with the policies of the Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah, I mean, look, with a new policy and with a further deep dive into the climate change agenda come new regulations, new costs, and that's one of the issues that we're dealing with right now. Businesses are strangled by new regulations related to the climate change agenda, and the other side has a completely different agenda. I spoke with former President Trump last week in Bedminster. He laid out his plans to get the economy in America back on a growth trajectory, and it had everything to do with making America energy dominant on the world stage. Watch this.
We have more liquid gold, as I call it, under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than anybody. We're going to be energy dominant. We're going to make a fortune. We're going to supply it all over Europe, all over the world. We're going to be double and triple what they're doing. Do you know, people in New England, they pay some of the highest prices in the world because we don't have a pipeline, because New York won't let a pipeline go through a very poor section of New York where they need the jobs.
So how many jobs do you think can be created by unlocking the energy capacity in America?
Numbers that you haven't seen before, numbers that we've never seen.
What,
we were
millions?
doing it. We would, yeah, millions of jobs. That's what we need.
So, Congressman, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris want to do the opposite. Your thoughts on the difference between these two agendas? Trump on tapping into energy, Kamala on ensuring that fossil fuels go away by 2040.
There's no question about it. Donald Trump is right. He's correct on this. Day one of the Biden-Harris administration, they declared war on fossil fuels, resulting in higher gas prices, resulting in the inflation that Georgians are experiencing right now. We are struggling. The average Georgian is struggling to buy groceries, to pay for their gas. And now they want to bring these California policies to Georgia. We don't want California and Georgia. I can tell you that. And these policies, and what really frustrates me is the fact that we have decreased carbon emissions in the United States of America. We've decreased carbon emissions more in the last 10 years than the next 7 countries combined, while growing our economy. And yet we don't get any credit for that whatsoever. The fossil fuel industry's done a great job of decreasing carbon emissions, and they will continue through innovation if we would just let them.
It's a great point. And we should point out that the reason that we are seeing that decline in terms of fossil fuels is because of efforts by corporate America. It's not a federal mandate, but corporate America has taken the lead on that. I'm with Emily Domenech this morning. Emily, jump in.
Congressman Carter, we've heard a lot of positive response from youth voters and climate activists about this Walz VP pick. What do you say to youth voters who care about climate issues to push back on this narrative that only the far left cares about climate and energy? What's your answer to try to get them to vote Republican in the fall?
Nothing could be further from the truth. Republicans care about our environment. Listen, I have the honor and privilege of representing the entire coast of Georgia, over 100 miles of pristine coastline. It's my home. It's where I've lived all my life, where I intend to live the rest of my life. Of course, I love the environment. Some of my fondest memories growing up are going fishing with my dad. I want to protect our environment. I have worked diligently through the Conservative Climate Caucus. I've worked diligently on the Energy and Commerce Committee to make sure that we are decreasing our carbon emissions, and we are doing just that, but we cannot destroy our economy trying to do that.
So the New York Post is asking swing voters about Tim Walz, one Ohio man predicting that the Minnesota governor will help Trump win in November, saying Walz makes Hillary Clinton's 2016 running mate Tim Kaine look exciting. The voter also called Walz a concession to the Twitter lefties. A CBS News YouGov poll finds former President Trump leads Vice President Kamala Harris in your home state of Georgia. Trump is up by 3 points. Both candidates recently holding rallies there in Atlanta. Congressman, do you think this stays going into November?
Proves. I think the president's going to do exceptionally well in Georgia. I think Georgians are tired of the Biden-Harris policies. I think that they're tired. You think it's bad now. If you get Harris and Walz together, that is the most dangerous, radically liberal ticket we've ever had run for president.
Wow.
It would be a disaster for this country.
All right, Congressman, great to get your insights this morning. Thank you, sir. Congressman Buddy Carter joining us. Quick break, and then markets on the rebound.